When things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to your favorite program, Let's Talk, with your favorite host Malik on your favorite channel, Hooded TV. And by now, Hooded TV better be your favorite channel because it is by far the premier English language Islamic channel in the entire world. But of course, I'm biased because I work here as well. This is a special episode, you guys. As you can see, I have this brand new suit that my wife bought me. I even brushed my teeth. I combed my beard a little bit, which means it's a very special episode. We're on scene here live from Berlin. No, we're not live in Berlin. I'm just joking. But we have a special episode. I want to call it The Dawah in Deutschland. The Dawah in Deutschland. And I want to talk about Germany and the Islamic Dawah efforts there. And so in order to do that, we brought two people. They're European activists from Germany. We have Brother Samir, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name because my Arabic is very bad, so he's going to correct us. He is from Berlin, and mashallah, we've had him on Let's Talk before, and we're very pleased to have him again. And of course, we have Brother Tahir here, Borian. You've seen him on Let's Talk with the old decor, and now we have him with the new decor, so we're pleased to have him back as well. He's a German revert to Islam living in the Middle East, so we will enjoy their perspectives. Thank you guys very much for joining me, Brother Samir. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
And I'm sorry, can you pronounce your last name for me? Because my Arabic is very non-existent.
Okay, Samir al-Khalafawi.
Excellent. Well, thank you for being with us, Brother Samir. And I think you have a unique perspective being German and then living here in the Middle East as well. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah.
And of course, Brother Tahir, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum as well, Brother Tahir.
Wa alaikum salam.
And brother, what part of Germany are you from?
I'm actually from Stuttgart, but since 5 years I live in Egypt.
In the Middle East, mashallah. And you're from Berlin?
Berlin, yes.
Okay, mashallah, bismillah, mashallah. And we have the studio audience. All right, you guys, assalamu alaikum and welcome to Let's Talk. This is exciting. Are you guys excited to go on Let's Talk? It's like the most famous talk show in the universe, right? Yes. Now I want you guys to go through one by one. Tell me where you're from, what your name is, inshallah. And tell me what you're doing here, if you're a student, if you're working, or... Go ahead, brother.
Bismillah. My name is Muhammad Zain. I'm from Egypt. I'm studying at Al-Azhar University, Faculty of Language and Translation, Department of Islamic Studies.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Muhammad. When you graduate, inshallah, we'd like to have you as a guest as well, inshallah.
I hope so. Thank
you. Thank you very much, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
My name is Nabil al-Dirini.
Excellent.
I am from Egypt, of course. I'm agricultural engineer and as well.
And like I said, you said you're a microbiologist, so if we do an episode about microbiology, you're going to be my guest, okay?
I'd be honored for this.
Thank you, Nabil. What part of Egypt are you from, Nabil?
I am from Cairo.
What are your roots from? Cairo as well, your grandparents and your family?
Yeah. I think we haven't been in Cairo for about 100 years.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
My name
brother.
is Muhammad Ala. I'm a student at Al-Azhar University. Study at Sharia and Law English department, and I'm very excited, as I said, because 5 of my uncles live in Germany.
Oh, mashallah!
I don't know. I don't want to know about it more.
Excellent. Are they in Berlin, or what part of Germany are they in? Do you know?
What?
What part of Germany are they in?
Berlin.
Oh, mashallah, very good.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, actually. Thank you so much. Who's this young man in the back? What's your name, brother?
My name is Sharif Ahmad. Peace be upon you all, first of all.
Thank you.
Well, I received a Bachelor of German and Spanish, and it's an honor to me to have a seat with you all today.
Thank you for being with us. And you speak German. Maybe after the episode you can speak German with these guys.
I'd like that a lot.
Thank you for this.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Excellent.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is
brother.
Sulaiman Abakar Musa. Presently I'm studying Arabic and Quran in Egypt, but I study medicine in Ukraine, Kharkiv National Medical University.
MashaAllah, do you speak the Ukrainian language?
Russian a little bit.
Russian a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. Здравствуйте. I think it means hello, yeah?
Da.
Very good. And who's this handsome young man in the back there?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
How are you, bro?
Nice to see you, man. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk.
This is Muhammad Tayil. I'm Egyptian. I'm also studying here in Azhar University, Faculty of Sharia and Law English Department.
Actually, now are you...
But I'm in Egypt, not in Berlin.
Okay. But are your parents Egyptian and your grandparents Egyptian as well?
Well, I have been told that my My grandma was from Turkey.
So are you like a big basha in Egypt?
I guess so.
Thank you for your time. I wanted to talk to you guys about as you said, the da'wah, so to speak, in Deutschland. I want to start with you, Brother Samir. It seems to me, maybe I'm misinformed, but it seems to me that the German people have are more readily accepting Islam than other European nations. Is that true? I know there's a lot of statistics we can quote, but I don't like to do that because all those are politically motivated, and these numbers don't really give us a clear indication. Oh, there's 100,000 or there's a million. That's why we bring you guys, because you guys are from Germany. You can speak about this. So, Brother Samir, do you think Germans are more readily accepting Islam than, say, French or English or Greeks, for example?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu. I could say the German nation is sort of a disciplined nation in general. They have been a very strong nation and very successful in all types, all aspects, all fields. In the industry especially, you see the German cars, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, etc.
Certainly.
In sports, you see them in the World Championship. I think they broke the record of reaching the finals of the World Cup in the whole history.
MashaAllah.
Yes, and this shows even more than Brazil, because they have like a school, they are really,
organized.
Consistency.
Okay.
So have this discipline, and that's why I think this is maybe one of the aspects that makes them, more ready to interact and think about it and, accepting Islam.
So you say in this regard they're more open-minded?
Yeah, they're open-minded and also intellectual.
Okay.
And this is actually my approach in the da'wah is with the way in intellectual logic.
Why do you say that? Why not an emotional approach maybe? Why not a different approach?
Well, there are people, it depends on the people that I meet, but this is, my more special. I myself am a mechanical engineer. I studied industrial engineering in the bachelor degree, and my master's was in the total quality management.
Okay.
So I'm a sort of a quality man. Yeah. And so, when I meet people, I feel firstly, I feel obliged that I have sort of to show them the truth. So I start with a nice, funny story to break the ice,
Okay,
and we always have to start with a smile and be nice. Also Brother Yusuf Estes was speaking about this way of da'wah, that even if someone who is attacking you and against you, you should smile and try to be, kind to him and make it easy for him.
Okay.
So I start with this old joke about a teacher coming into the classroom wanting to persuade the students about atheism. Okay? He comes in and asks the students, guys, do you see the table here? They say, yes, we see the table. He says, then there is a table here. A table exists here. They say, yes, obviously.
Right, of course.
He asks them again, guys, do you see the chair here? They say, yes, we see the chair. He says, then there is a chair. They say, yes, obviously. Then he asks, guys, do you see God up there? They say, no, we don't see God. Okay, then he says, there is no God.
Right.
The children are silent for a moment. Then this young, small boy stands up. Guys, do you see the brain of this teacher? They say, no. So this teacher has no brain at all.
That's funny. That's excellent. So that's a great example.
So this is the first approach tackling the issue that it's not necessarily that those things that we believe in so many things, but we don't see it, we don't touch it. We believe in emotions.
Right.
We believe in magnetic fields. We believe in some electricity.
Right.
We see the effects sometimes even.
Right.
And we believe in atoms. Sometimes I ask some guy, do you believe in atoms? He says, yes, we took it. How do you know they exist? Yeah, my teacher told me at school, etc. I said, did you meet an atom face to face? Hello, Mr. Atom.
Actually, your point. Yeah, good.
Yeah, you see, so there are many, obviously, the effects of the power of Allah Almighty are all around the place. But the first issue we are tackling this thing and starting also with this funny story. Then I start to ask them, when we came on this earth, did we have the choice to come here? If we are happy here and existing here, do we have the choice to stay here forever? or do we have to go sometime?
Right, good
In
point.
our existence, how are we? Are we absolute, strong, independent, controlling everything, or are we weak, dependent, need water, need food, and such a small virus could come and lay us for weeks and months in bed? How are we?
Right.
So, is it just to be arrogant and say, oh no, we don't need God, we don't need, holy laws that govern our life and tell us this is halal, this is haram, this is allowed and this is forbidden. We will govern ourselves. We are strong. We are. This is arrogance. This is not just. Look at yourself. Ask yourself why you are here. How did you come? And what are you? What is, we know that we have a spirit. Do you know what is this spirit? Has science which has been able to see everything in the human being. Have we been able to identify the secret of the spirit until now?
Excellent point.
Nobody knows.
Excellent
And Allah for 1400 years in the Quran challenged scientists till the end of time. He said, they ask you about the spirit. Say the spirit is something from God and you have just attained a very little of knowledge.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
So this is
your approach.
Yeah, this is the approach about asking questions.
Right.
Logic. Why are we existing? And what is the reason? Are we like the animals? Are we here only just to eat, drink, have intercourse and finished?
Yeah, right. Excellent point.
So we have decisions and we have, givens in this world, and so we have to start asking ourselves about our existence and whether there is a higher reason and issue behind our existence.
Excellent point. Brother Samir, thank you for those wonderful remarks. So you've identified the general collective psyche, we can say, of the German people, and you believe that this logical, we don't want to say philosophical, but this logical, perhaps maybe philosophical approach is better for the German people. Brother Tahar, what do you think?
Yes, I think so, yes. Alhamdulillah, Allah has brought up some important people in Germany, what I think, like Akh Samir, who is working there in Dawah, and well-known brother Pierre Vogel. I have the feeling that these people, also you find them Yusuf Estes and so for the US and so on. So this people are trying to speak with the intellect, with the mind and so on, and it's not related maybe only to German. It's alhamdulillah, if you speak of a French, someone who is from France, he will also maybe start to think and so on. So what I wanted also to add, because like we said that the German are like organized and so on and educated and so on. But I would like to add that this is also dependent on the system there. That the system, like if you see the Germans in East, the East Germany, they were separated like for 50 years.
Right.
So it wasn't like the West. Okay. So it's really dependent on the system. Yeah.
Okay.
So the people.
This is a stereotype we have. It's not always true.
We had also not the opportunity maybe in the East before in the East Germany
as
to
they had
take
in
the
the West.
dawah as they have now in the West. So we have the opportunities, alhamdulillah. In some, maybe there are also some borders. Yani you cannot speak about everything about Sharia, everything of cutting hair.
Yeah, it's not completely open discussion yet still.
Yeah.
But would you say the Germans are more ready to accept Islam than other European, or no? Depends on the person, case by case.
I don't know. I saw a program in YouTube, and Pierre Vogel, he asked someone in Germany, from which country are you? And he said, I'm from Poland. And he said, why all the people from Poland becoming Muslims? I see always Poland and Italy. So this is what he said. Yeah. Right. So I think it's not related to maybe they are closer from like the organization and so on, and but from the inner, if you see the inner side, so you would say. No, they are more far away than the French and the Italy people, because the Italy people maybe they are closer
geographically
to the Muslims geographically, but also from the inner part. They are
the culture.
They have
warm
brothership, and to their mothers, they love their mothers a lot. But in Germany, you see that You find many people, elders' homes. It's called Altenheim. You find, I don't know in English also.
Yeah, I think the home for the
older people.
in
You find
America.
many like this. So this means from the inner side they are like not so close to Islam. So it's dependent on the person. You cannot say the most intelligent people becoming Muslims, because you find also people from any kind, or if they are intelligent or not intelligent.
It's case by case.
It's from Allah. He is guiding the people. You cannot say this man is not in charge. I will not make with him dawah because he's not understanding. He's stupid, and so on. And maybe it could be a simple reason what guides this person to Islam. So it's not. I think it's not dependent to the
race or
geographically, to the race, to the mind. It's subhanallah, we don't know. And sometimes the what we have to bear in mind, what the people also who make dawah, that we have to not compromise. We don't have to make Islam
look so weak and pathetic.
They are cutting hands, not necessary. And
give it the full picture.
We have to say that, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "I'm a warner. I warn you from the fire."
And this respects their intellect when you give them the full picture. By the way,
I saw this Pierre Vogel, and I think this is what makes him successful. He's directly. There was a program also. He said in the beginning of the program, we are here to guide you to Islam. Islam is the right religion from the beginning.
Who are you saying?
The Pierre Vogel. Hamza.
Okay.
Right? He said
directly.
I think it's the way, like what the people like, and they like the direct way.
And they can take it or leave it.
This is the right way. This is the way to Jannah. Everything else you will not enter.
Start off with giving them a full picture.
Another example was he was also in a program in Germany, in a program in Sat.1. It's a well-known program. Many people are watching it. And the host asked him, so this means when I don't follow your religion, I will enter the hellfire. And Pierre Vogel said to him, yes.
Yeah, so we have to get the direct approach.
This is really directly, and what should he say? Okay.
No, just give a direct picture.
So
I agree with you. Give them the full picture. This respects their intellect, and they don't feel lied to. Before I get your thoughts and comments, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll come back to this thought. And I know we have some questions in the studio audience from the big basher in the back, Muhammad Tayyid from Cairo, Egypt. But you guys stay tuned. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be right back for more Dawah in Deutschland, live from Berlin. Well, we're not live from Berlin, but we're talking about Germany, so you guys will be right back. Stay tuned.
إذا دكت الأرض دكا.
Do you want to learn how to recite the Quran? Do you want to read Islamic books in Arabic? You may enroll in a small group.
العسل من السوق اشترى. نعم اشترى.
A private lesson.
من مثلها في فضلها.
من مثلها في فضلها.
Or at your own pace to fit your schedule.
هل أنت معجب في المعهد؟
Courses for sisters with female instructors. We're bringing you the latest software technology, professional instructors, and a state-of-the-art classroom to the comfort of your home. Enroll now in Huda Academy. Huda Academy, your gateway to authentic Islamic knowledge.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back. I hope you speak as Deutsch for this episode, the special episode about the Dawah in Deutschland. Sorry I keep saying those stupid jokes, but I'm really happy to have you guys. It's nice to have people from different parts of the world. It's very interesting. We just did a program actually recently with the Greek German. It was very, very nice, inshallah. I hope you guys get to meet him or enjoy his programs in the future, inshallah. Brother Samir, I would like you to comment on Brother Tahir, what you were saying about, I believe, Pierre Vogel's direct approach, and give people the full picture so you respect their intellect so they don't feel lied to. Go ahead.
Exactly. I would like give some examples of nice dialogues I had in the train. I try to be also direct, but to make a nice approach with easy going, with a smile.
Right.
You know, there was this young guy. She's not that, I think, educated as much as I had the impression, but he was, you know, like a nice guy, you know, young, like 20s. He told me, we started a discussion about religion, and he started telling me, you know, I don't believe in anything before I try it out myself. This is the way he expressed it.
Yeah.
I have to try it out, so I believe in it. I told him, okay, how about that you put your head under this running train? He said, no. I told him, why not? He said, it will be very painful. He said, I told him, how did you know? Did you try it before? Well, try it out. If it hurts, don't do it again.
That's good. Yeah.
If it hurts, don't do it again.
That's the approach you're taking.
Yeah. So he started thinking, okay, but he was very, I liked his answer so much. He told me, okay, I tell you something. When I have a nail and a hammer, and I'm hammering this nail, and this hammer comes onto my finger will be hurting a lot. And if my finger is hurting so much, so my head will be hurting much more. I told him, now we are talking logic. Because first we said I don't believe before I try it out.
Right.
Now you have had this painful experience that is saving you of a much higher pain. So this is logic. And the same way, I'm saying there are so many standards and givings in this world that show us what right and what wrong is, and so on, to give us some hints and some directions to understand. If you at school, if you learn properly, you get good grades. If you follow the disciplines, you follow the laws, you are respected, you are properly. The same thing is about the big picture about Islam and so on. This was one, and actually I make a big, analogy between the religion in general and Islam in specific and school as a system. I take different parts. It would be a bit long, maybe. I don't know if you like, we can do it, but it takes a little bit long in analyzing, because first of all I start asking them, why did we come on this earth, etc., etc., and then I tell them, okay, a scientific approach. If you have a sea in front of you, and you want to analyze this sea, what do you do? What do you do to analyze the sea?
Take a probe, right?
Exactly, exactly. You take some probe and analyze it in the lab, and you get some conclusions about the salt and so on.
How do you know? Are you some sort of scientist?
No, from Germany.
Yeah, exactly. So I start them, okay, we came in this world without our decision, and we want to understand. We have a hypothesis called religion. Someone is calling us there is religion and this and that, and that. Okay, let's analyze it scientifically. We are like in a sea full of systems in this world. We are having so many systems. I'll take one system that everyone knows and everyone understands and try to see the different, compare between the system and religion. Okay? So I take the most famous system that we know, the school. Everyone knows the school.
Everybody's familiar with it.
Exactly. Well, I asked them, what is the first step that you have to do to be a proper student? What do you have to do?
To learn.
Before this? Register.
Register, right.
Register.
Okay. Enroll, right. Yeah.
Enroll.
Right.
If someone comes every day to school and does everything, does homework, everything, but at the first stage he didn't register, is all his actions, do they count?
No.
He comes at the end of the year, can he get a certificate or anything? There must maybe a mistake. It was a mistake. They thought maybe he is registered. But at the end of the day, if he comes at the end of the year,
so he's finished.
And he says, why? Everyone knows me. I'm Samir. Yeah, the teacher said, I like you and you are very nice, etc. But I can't give you a certificate or anything because you are not registered, which takes maybe one day, this registration. So this is like the shahada, taking the shahada. Very simple step, but without this step, all the actions are...
You have to register with Allah.
Working. Yeah, exactly. This is the first thing, first analogy. The second thing about, you know, like attending classes. What do they love more, the students in a school? Do they love more the class or the break?
The break.
The
right,
break, exactly. If you are sitting in the break and you eat and you laugh and you so on, and it rings, the bell rings, is it proper that you stay downstairs or you go up?
You go up.
You go up. Why do you go up? Do you love the teacher so much? or is it out of respect? You believe in the words of your parents. They told me, yeah, you have to work and this and that. If you do and learn, if you don't do, you'll be, you know, cleaning the streets later, etc. Because you believe in your parents' words,
right?
Because you respect the system.
Yeah, you respect the rules.
You respect the rules. That's why you are going, leaving all the stuff, and going to sit for the teacher, respecting him, not eating, not drinking, not speaking to each other, etc. Firstly, if Allah, we take 7 classes, 45 minutes. When Allah asks us for 5 classes, each class 5 minutes, is too much for him?
Yeah.
Is it too much for Allah if He comes and wants from us 5 classes, each class 5 to 10 minutes? Is it too much?
Yeah, a good point.
So if we respect this teacher who is getting his salary out of maybe our parents' money, and we are respecting him and go on time when it rings, Allah send us someone from above 7 heavens and tell us, come, I want to talk to you. We tell him, sorry, I have more important stuff to do.
Yeah,
maybe later at the end of the time, I might catch it at the end of the time. Is this proper conduct? Is this proper conduct? If you know, we respect this teacher and go to him and if we are 1 minute late, sorry, and so on, and we are like this with the teacher, and Allah, astaghfirullah, later, 2-3 hours, I'll catch them before Asr, no problem.
Yeah, right.
This is the second analogy. So, if we can accept this at school, even, may Allah beware if our belief not that strong, but this is, you know, if we accept it at school to go attend these classes, so we attend this class with Allah, those 5 classes a day.
Yeah.
The third analogy between school and religion, learning. Why do we learn? Why do we learn at school?
To be successful, to not be ignorant.
No, what is the direct effect? Why do we work? Grades. How do we get this grades?
By studying.
By studying. Now, but how are they, you know, like
cause and effect?
Yeah, the cause of it, you know. How we learn to do our homeworks.
Right.
If we do the homeworks, right, we get good grades.
Right.
For doing exams, small exams and big exams.
Okay.
Thirdly, for labs, you know, if you attend the lab, you have to learn beforehand so that you don't do mistakes that bring you into trouble.
Right.
I take those 3 examples and analyze it in religion. Firstly, learning, we learn our sunnah, to understand what is our homework. That what is do we have to do for Allah? Allah asked us to do certain things. To be able to do it properly, we have to learn to know what is sunnah and so on.
This is our homework.
Yeah, the homework. Okay, exactly. Right. Secondly, exams. We have in this world small exams and big exams.
Like a quiz and exam.
Yeah, quizzes and exams and big exams. One quiz that we have everyday life, how we are dealing with each other. If someone, you know, like attacks me, does this with me, those are quizzes every day. Or if we do like trade, if I'm selling you something, you are how to be, how to be just. What is the meaning of being just? Those are tests.
Of course.
So we have to learn and have a strong iman and really to be able to be just, to, you know, like to be successful in those small tests.
Right.
Big tests and exams that we have, if may Allah beware that we get a big
sickness,
accidents, people who die. Those are big exams. If we have learned our lesson properly and we have a strong iman, we can overcome them. Exactly like the exams in school.
What about the third?
The third thing, which is very interesting and very important, labs.
What's the lab?
If a student goes into the chemistry lab and he finds hydrogen and oxygen, those are 2 gases. If you open oxygen gas, you feel nice, it's oxygen, and you know it's nice. Hydrogen, does not have a smell at all. But if you open oxygen and you have a container full of oxygen and a container full of hydrogen, and you open them together and they are mixed into the room, with the least spark, the whole school will explode. And sometimes even there are gases that you know have are poisonous.
You can't smell.
You can smell them, but they can give you, may Allah beware, cancer, etc.
Right.
What is the example?
What is the analogy here?
Yeah, what is the analogy? People who think, who are going after the desires and not going back to the standards that God has put for us as his servants, and doing bad things and saying, why everyone is doing this? A woman is going without any clothes or without any headscarf. He says everyone is doing like this. She's playing with poison. She's playing with her spiritual health.
Right,
because this is her spirit. Exactly like this student who hasn't prepared for the lab and is playing around with gases. He is not, you know, like knowing how serious and how bad it is for him and for his surroundings. Like those people who are doing bad deeds and didn't learn exactly what is right and what is wrong, and following the regulations, and thinking, oh, it looks simple.
It looks fine.
It looks fine. I'm not feeling any. I don't have any bad feeling. I'm lying. I'm stealing. I'm stealing this. He has $1 million. I'm stealing from him 10,000 pounds. What's the problem? You know, he has his own logic.
Right.
Exactly like this student playing around with those gases and thinking, oh, I didn't do anything bad. I'm not hurting anyone directly. Directly.
Right.
But if he would have opened the book and learned his lesson, he would have known that Allah and the God tell us that this is wrong.
Of course.
If we understand it or not, that's an issue, because we are all limited. Like we were at school, and even we are old, even if we are older, the more that we get knowledgeable, the more that we recognize our ignorance.
Exactly.
And the last and final example about school, about learning for the final exams. Sometimes I meet those people, there are people who are really working, hard-working students, especially also not only at school, also in higher, like in the college, university, especially in medicine. I sometimes meet those medical students. They are very strong, they are working very well, and I see them, you know, like working and studying. I said, what's wrong? He said, my exam is after 3 months. I said, 3 months? 3 months is a long time. Why it's like this? No. Now you don't know how much we have to learn. And I have to be on the safe side. I'm learning for the A, because if something happened,
I get a B.
I get a B. I get a C.
Not an F.
No, not an F. If I'm looking for a C or a D, then it's very easy that you know. So I say, if you as a student learn so much hard for an exam that might be that it's like after 3 months, you can have a makeup exam, and you could in the worst case make another year. No problem. How about an exam that can happen every second, that can occur, and it's an absolute final exam where there's no makeup, no second year, no second chances? Shouldn't you prepare for this exam?
That's an excellent point.
Shouldn't you prepare for the exam that could happen in any time? Can you be sure that you will be living till tomorrow? Can anyone of us guarantee to stay after this hour?
Even 5 minutes.
No one can guarantee this.
Yeah.
So how should we be preparing for this big exam with no makeups, no second chances?
That's it.
Without anything.
That's an excellent point, Brother Samir. Thank you for, I think me and Taha are both interested to know, this is a very interesting, sophisticated approach and analogy that you're using to give dawah to the German people. We're going to go to a short break, and in the next segment, we're going to take some questions from the studio audience. And I also want to ask you in the next segment, Brother Samir, and I'm sure Brother Taha has the same question. Has this approach yielded good results? Because it seems like it would, inshallah. So you guys stay tuned. You guys at home, stay tuned for Let's Talk. We're talking about the dawah in Deutschland. You guys get your passports out, get your backpacks for traveling to Germany. So stay tuned for more Let's Talk.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose whom He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy, for His messengership, for the revelation to be revealed. This is not for the human beings to make that decision. If a person would turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely, truthfully, asking for forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to forgive. We have as Muslims a duty, and that is to recite the book of Allah, to ponder over the verses, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to act according to the Quran. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses everything, but who would this mercy will be for? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to all mankind. So the ummah, or the people of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are all mankind since the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the day of judgment. Why waste our life without getting to know every verse in the Quran, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us?
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to your favorite program, Let's Talk. We're having a really interesting discussion about the dawah in Deutschland, and we have two very special guests, Brother Samir and Brother Tahir. Thank you guys very much for being with me today, inshallah. I hope you guys have you for dawah in Deutschland part 2, because it's been a very nice and exciting conversation. Before I get Brother Tahir's comments about this beautiful analogy and approach that Brother Samir is taking to dawah in Deutschland, I want to go to the studio audience. I think big Mohammed Basha from Egypt in the back has a question. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, actually brought amazing analogy, mashallah. But on the basis of this analogy, maybe someone will tell you that, well, I entered this university, but I don't want to register there. So why, man? Because the people who are inside this university, they are backward. He means Arab or
Muslims.
Or Muslims.
Okay, so he's continuing with this
Yeah,
analogy. Go ahead,
so
brother.
what we are going to reply, Doctor?
I make a certain question that I ask some people. Some people tell me, why do I need a religion to be good? I myself am a good person, I'm good to people, etc. and so on. I ask him, if you are at university, would you give, and you haven't registered, you didn't register at university, and I'm not following the discipline and the curriculum, etc. and you have teachers and tutors and people who are giving you sort of hard time and telling you, why didn't you give your, where's your homework, this, you are getting an F, etc. Would you be doing the same effort? You love your subject. You have even registered on your own in this university, and you did the registration on nobody, you know, like, well,
nobody forced you.
Nobody forced you to enter. But still, you're entering on your own, and you believe in it, and you know yourself that if you are not having this discipline and someone who's monitoring you and asking you for results, you will never do the proper and same effort, do the papers, do the homework, do this, do that, go back and forth and stay up the night. Because you have a target on one hand. On one hand, this registration gives you a target. This registration makes you in front of a certain responsibility. You have put yourself in front of a certain responsibility. You didn't leave yourself to your if I have time, I'll learn this. It's a nice subject. If I have time, I'll do it. No, you put yourself onto a serious responsibility. So this is the difference, and that's why I tell them you have to put, God has put us certain standards, and He told us you have to put yourself in front of this responsibility, because at the end of the day we'll be asked.
Of course, thank you, Brother. Thank you, Brother Muhammad. Brother Tahir, go ahead.
Yeah, this was one question what my mother asked me before I embraced Islam. Actually, she told me, why you need Islam? Before I embraced Islam, I had conversations with my parents. So my mother told me, why you need Islam to be good? You can be good without Islam. You can be good also as a good Christian. Right. So this made me think and search. So it was I wasn't Muslim yet, so I started also to search in the Christian religion. But Alhamdulillah, I didn't find the responses what I found in Islam. I didn't find the system. Christianity was open. You can do whatever you want. You will enter. You will enter paradise.
Brother Tahir, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to ask both of you guys. I felt, Brother Tahir, I felt like the Germans appreciate Islam because there's a systematic approach to life, but it has still lots of room for spirituality. It's not all law, not all open. So this systematic approach of Islam appealed to you.
Yes,
non-Muslim
this appeals to me, but the thing is that if a person is like honest to himself, it will appeal to everybody, independent if he's German or Italian. Or, it will depend. As you are from the US or Greek.
Yeah.
It appeared to you.
Yeah, Allah
right?
makes it clear, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, because this is our nature. Allah gave us this nature. Our nature needs this system. And this system, with our colleagues, in our work, the people, they are like programmed from Allah. They have this program inside that they need this organized system. They need this to say this is haram and this is halal. And the world around, it's like Brother Samir said. We find it in school. We find it in work. Everywhere we putting systems, right?
Right.
So also to have a good life, to be content, to be satisfied with our life, we have to take the system Islam, alhamdulillah. For us.
I feel like in the Western world, I think Brother Samir agrees, we focus a lot on the system and structure of medicine and science, but when it comes to in business and work, but when it comes to the spiritual side, we have a big void. We have a big vacuum that needs to be filled. So I want to ask you, Brother Samir, has this approach been effective for you in Germany?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you another very nice story that I have, even with two very young people. It was also in a train. I was traveling around a lot in Germany. I found a young boy and a girl, 14, 15 years old, making love to each other in the train, like publicly. This is a normal thing in Germany, unfortunately. So I felt bad, and I felt I had to
say something.
I came to them, I told them, may I tell you something? Yes, please do. They were very respectful, alhamdulillah. I told them, don't you know that this is wrong what you're doing? She said, why? What is wrong about it? I told them, two not married people shouldn't do something like this. They said, but we love each other. He said, okay, go ahead and marry. He said, but we are too young to marry. Why should we marry? I told them, are you too young to buy a chocolate? They said, no, we can't. We know how to buy a chocolate. Yes. I'll tell them, let's analyze how you buy a chocolate. If you go in a supermarket and you buy a chocolate like it's called 50 pence, for example, 50 pence or 50 pennies or whatever.
Right.
Could you take this chocolate, you go into supermarket and you take it and you put this 50 pence you take it from the shelf and put the 50 pence and put it into your pocket and go ahead. Is this proper?
No, no.
They'll take. What will they happen? They'll take you and they'll steal. Why? You have to follow a certain ritual. Even with buying a chocolate for 50 pence, you have to follow a certain ritual.
Right.
You have to go to the cashier, give it to him, he will scan it and tell you 50 pence, you give him 50 pence. He will give you the chocolate, and what else will he give you?
A receipt.
A receipt, exactly. So first of all, you have now a certain ritual. You can't go according to your desire. Someone might be ignorant and say, I've taken it from this place and put it. No, this does not count. You have to follow the proper official ritual. This is the first part of it. Secondly, what happens if you go home and look at the chocolate and you find it out of date? What do you do? You go back. What will we ask about?
The receipt.
The receipt.
I'll give you your money back, inshallah.
Okay. So what is this receipt?
It's a proof of purchase.
It's like a contract.
A contract.
A contract.
Yeah.
So I tell them, so you have made a contract about the chocolate. So which inter-human relationship is more valuable and more important? An issue of purchase of a chocolate for 50 pence, or the relationship between a man and a woman that can create a new life? Which relationship is more liable to be made a contract about?
What was the response?
They said, you are right. They said, yes, you are right, we should marry. Yes, they accepted the
logical approach.
The logical approach.
Yeah, right.
That it is, if you're doing a contract for a chocolate, and you are obliged by the system to do it. Sometimes even this man who is doing maybe the work he has done and the electricity and the paper, etc., is more than the money he has gained from this, the profit from this 50 pence, but he's doing the same like with 500 euros, like 50 pence. It's the same procedure, but he is obliged to do it. For the same thing, I tell them, so if this interaction between a man and a woman, this contract, and this is not to give us hard time. It's only for everyone to understand and to know his rights and his privileges from this relationship, and to know, to have a framework. Only to have a framework, like in a proper Islamic marriage is easy, and if it's not working out, divorce is also easy, which not maybe in different cultures is difficult, and according to different laws it's difficult, but in proper Islamic marriage it's very easy with two witnesses and etc.
It's a simple procedure.
Very simple procedure.
Yeah, it should be, but
unfortunately some people are making it difficult, and actually those people who are making it difficult are causing a lot of confusion and fitna in our societies. And I'm very unhappy and angry about this, and like people who are knowledgeable people and ulama should really preach the people to make it easy.
It makes fornication widespread.
For marriage.
Yeah, if you make marriage hard, it makes fornication widespread.
Exactly.
That's an excellent story. So you're saying the logical approach in this case of these young Germans, it works. So we have to speak to the people in the language that they understand. So that's why I think that's very clever, the way that you are approaching this.
Alhamdulillah, I think Allah gave you especially this pair. They understood, but I think in 90% of the cases they will say, "Hey man, where are you from the moon?" Because the society, the German or the European society, this is something normal what they are doing.
This is their culture. This is their culture.
They will not actually what I think. They will even not listen to me. If I but Alhamdulillah, this is you try your best, right?
Exactly.
The rest you let it to Allah.
Exactly. As you said, Hidayah, Hidayatullah. As Hidayah is coming. Huda is coming from Allah. We have the obligation to show the truth. And with the best way, I didn't, shout. I spoke with them always smiling and, giving examples with chocolate, sweet stuff, and very simple
and this is something new for them, I think, because they don't have these stories, right? They listen to television. They are always under this wrong system. They don't have someone who is speaking to them in a nice way and making sense and explaining the religion with a logical way.
When you speak to them, it makes sense. It clicks, and you can't deny. I'm sorry, brother. Studio audience, I forgot about you guys. What's going on? Do you have any questions?
Well, we don't have the chance to speak about Germany every day, so I want to go in depth in this. My sister study art of Germany, so I've heard many things. On the one side, that they have great names on art like Goethe and Hansen and so on, and most of Muslims they are Turkish, I think. And on the other hand, they like their language very much. Even they know another language, they insist to speak in their language. And some factors like that, cousins cannot marry from their themselves. I think it's illegal. So what's the suitable way for calling to Islam in this community?
Excellent question. Thank you, brother, for coming. If I can just say a couple of things. I think we agree that the Turkish community is very strong in Germany, and that there's a lot of Turkish immigrants there, which is a subject we can talk about, do programs about as well. And I think Germans, like all Europeans, they're very passionate about their language, like French and Greek people as well. And I think that's something that we in the Middle East should be more proud about Arabic, because, for example, I was in Greece one time, and I said the word okay. I hadn't been there in many years. My Greek is very bad. I said okay, and you know what he said to me? He said to me, "Don't speak English in this country. You're in Greece." I said, SubhanAllah. And we as Muslims, in the Middle East, we were teaching our kids different languages, so I don't think that's the greatest, the best approach. But to answer the brother's question, the Turkish community in Germany is very large, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you think this is a good face of Islam, bad face? What is the dynamic there?
I think there are good and bad faces, but unfortunately, I think the problem is that the Turkish people they are not sticking as not only the Turkish and the Arabs also now. Alhamdulillah, now we have a movement, and I say we have a movement, but here in the Arabic countries, we have a movement to Islam, alhamdulillah. But you know, the problem is that you will find many drug dealers and so on. You will find them from non-German.
Yeah, right. So this gives them an excuse. Although people are people, so whenever you have a large group of people, you'll have everything involved, whether they're Turkish or Germans, or if you have 500,000 people in a country, you know, of course you're going to have all walks of life in there. So it's not fair to blame them.
Yeah, but I think that it's coming also out of the system, because the system is the German system. This is what I, from myself, when I came from Poland. So as a stranger or as someone, a foreigner, you are not like integrated. And this is also a big point in Germany. They are speaking about integration of foreigners.
Right.
So how to integrate them? So because I say from the German mentality. This is the German mentality. They don't like to integrate others. If, for example, if you go to a club, if you go to a soccer club,
okay,
and if you go enter the soccer club here in Egypt or in Turkey or in another country, let's say independent, or in Italy or something,
okay,
the people will come, hey, welcome in our club and so on. You are welcomed and you are new here. And from where are you?
Germans do.
They ask you. But unfortunately, in Germany, first they let you 1-3 days alone. This is what I faced. This is the mentality. But it's not something what they do with intention.
It's
that
culture
they
difference.
don't. Yeah, this is how they learned it. I don't know from where it's coming.
It's just a culture difference.
It's actually this, and this inacceptance or in not integration makes the people like stick to their own rules and stick to their own roots, and to the Turkish. You find Turkish people
third generation can't speak German.
Can't speak German.
Yeah, I got you.
But you don't find this in France. In French, for example.
That's a good analogy.
The people like coming from Italy or from Yugoslavia to France.
They speak French.
They speak it, and they say, "I'm not Yugoslavian. I met this by myself." I was also surprised. How comes this?
So you're saying, perhaps, I'm sorry to interrupt you because the time is up for the episode actually, but by the time you're saying perhaps it's the German mentality that is forcing the isolation of certain ethnic groups, which contributes to this problem.
But it's good also because the people are then sticking to their Islam. The
Perhaps
Turkish,
it helps.
so they are like, not integrated, so they will not start to because you find the people who are integrated, they will start to drink alcohol, they will start to eat swine, and so on. So from the other side, alhamdulillah, it's good, and the people stick to their own rules.
Excellent point. So there's two sides to each two sides of the coin there. Thank you, Brother Tahir, for coming for this episode of Dawah in Deutschland. I hope you have an open invitation. I hope you come back soon, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Brother Samir, I'm sorry the episode's over. I know you have a lot of wonderful things to say, and for that reason, I want to also invite you back anytime to Let's Talk.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. We have other programs on Huda TV. I hope you can participate in as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. If I'm around in Egypt anytime, but I'm traveling around, so inshallah.
Well, maybe we can get a cameraman over there in Berlin.
Yeah, inshallah.
Live correspondent, inshallah.
Anytime, inshallah.
German-speaking.
Yeah, we can make a German-speaking program.
No problem.
Very good. We got Brother Sharif hosting. You guys, thank you in the studio audience, and I appreciate you guys coming, and I certainly hope you guys come back for another episode of Let's Talk. And really quick, before we go, I just wanted to read this email from Iman from the United States. She says, I'm a big fan of Huda TV. It's helped me get through tough times. I really like Let's Talk. She said, I also love your program with Imam Kareem Abu Zaid, Building a Better Future. Thank you very much, Sister Iman from the USA. I certainly hope you guys at home enjoy this program, the Dawah in Deutschland, inshallah. Hopefully we can make part 2. But until next time, I look forward to seeing you again, inshallah. Next Wednesday, you guys know the time. You guys know the channel. So until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the dips are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt.